Sarah, I have had the most amazing time with you
Good.
on Quark Ultramarine. This has been an incredible bucket list final continent for me, and you are standing in front of one of my final parts. So, can you share with us a little bit about what you do and how we got to have an amazing helicopter adventure in Antarctica?
Absolutely. Oh, my name is Sarah. I'm the helicopter operations manager here on board the Ultramarine. What we've attempted to accomplish and have done beautifully on your trip is we've taken advantage of this perfect pocket of weather to get the entire guest complement up in the air to see Antarctica from a perspective that frankly just never gets experienced. And I hope that's been a real highlight of your journey.
I mean, my whole career, having been a traveler and working on ships and going so many places, I always wanted to come to Antarctica. And to be able to come to Antarctica with Quark Ultramarine, with polar specialists, was definitely the top of my dream. But I have to admit, I didn't anticipate helicopters.
I understand that. Antarctica is a particularly dynamic environment. It requires patience, it requires flexibility, like anything else that we do here in Antarctica. Nothing happens on a set schedule. So, being flexible, not just with the staff, with the guests, but also with these impressive machines, takes a bit of readiness. You have to be ready to jump into it. We prepare and prep and we look at the forecast and we meet as a team constantly, and we keep our eye on certain windows and work very closely with our expedition leader, Ryan, to make sure that we're utilizing these opportunities, placing the ship where we need it to be to try and seize these moments, and of course, hopefully getting everybody up in the air.
Right, that's the other amazing thing is every single person on Quark Ultramarine went in the helicopter.
They did. We're pretty thrilled about that. So there's 175 guests on this particular trip. It takes roughly 7 to 8 hours to accomplish that. 5.5 hours of total flight time for both aircraft. So it's a huge endeavor to get that many people up there. We always tell folks, your experience is going to be a little bit different than everybody else's, but we are not operating on a track in Disney World. We have to, in fact, pivot and explore as many areas as we can, whether that's for 15 minutes or 12 minutes. Everyone's experience, temperature, weather, cloud-based, it's all going to be different when you operate in this environment.
The other thing that I thought was really impressive is everybody has a window seat.
Amen. Yeah, that's huge for us. Obviously, for flight seeing, that is the objective. Flight seeing, we want you to have a really amazing experience. We want you to take in everything that you're seeing without having to lean over someone or get your camera in someone else's face. So for flight seeing, we endeavor to make sure everyone has a window seat.
And the other thing on Quark Expeditions that is clear from the moment you board, whether you're getting in a Zodiac or a stand-up paddleboard or you're going on a Zodiac cruise or a landing, is the very high priority for safety. And you could see it in your helicopter operations how they told us what we were going to do, then we did it. All the staff seems incredibly aware and trained. It must be a huge amount of logistics for the team.
Yeah, that starts from the beginning. It starts with our office, making sure that we're staffed with the best of the best. It means that we need to make sure we're doing consistent training here on board, whether that's formally with our heli deck assistant certifications, heli landing officer certifications, advanced firefighting, all the way up to hiring, in my mind, the best pilots that we can have with decades of experience flying a variety of aircraft, a variety of helicopters, and then having, of course, the Airbus H145s, which are twin engine, top of their class, pretty ideal for this environment. If you're going to go out, this is the aircraft to do it in, and we're in really good hands.
Yes, they're brand new. They're fantastic. They're relatively quiet. The other thing I thought was impressive, of course, you said the pilots are highly experienced, But it's not only that every single person on the ship gets to fly in the helicopter, but there's also an excursion with a landing. Tell us about the heli landing.
Yeah, so we offer what we call our exclusive heli landing. So this is for up to 24 people. It's a pre-booked excursion, so you have to get in early to get it. The aim is to fly you to a high vantage point, to land you amongst the environment, on snow, on ice, perhaps on a bit of a gravel as well. It just depends on what we find. We meet throughout the trip to look at ideal positions for that. Our mountain guides are top of their field, absolutely the best. They secure with the pilots, after a quick reconnaissance or a long reconnaissance, an ideal site for safety, for views, for accessibility. And then we bring out our guests in rounds to enjoy 35, 40 minutes of really unbroken views and calm and peace in this area that, again, maybe no one has ever landed in, or certainly very few people have been up there. So that's our goal.
Yeah, it was spectacular. I saw some of the pictures from the heli landing, and I mean, every picture is amazing. Seeing the 3 kinds of penguins and 5 kinds of whales and 3 kinds of seals. I mean, our expedition has been basically miraculous. Like you said, we've had excellent weather. But the day that we did the heli landing was also the day of the fast ice walking. I mean, it's been just really unbelievable what we've gotten to do here.
Yeah, I mean, that again is such a testament to the experience of the team, the ability of the team. You have the captain who just did an amazing job creating that ice landing, and you saw how long that took to really be thorough. We had our geologists and our logistics folks out on the ice first, drilling holes, making sure it was a stable platform. We had our expedition leader, Ryan, maintaining all of it, trying to be the eyes in the skies, and of course myself as air traffic control and logistics for heliops and the bridge, trying to make sure that we could do all of this seamlessly together. So hopefully for the guest experience as well as for us, it felt like a very smooth, very coordinated dance, and I couldn't be more thrilled about how that day went.
Oh, I think it was totally seamless, but to be able to be on the fast ice, looking back at the ship with the yellow helicopter landing, I felt like we were in a movie set. I mean, it was amazing.
Those are days that we dream of. So I agree, it was great.
It was really great. So there are some people that question, a helicopter in a remote place. Can you talk a little bit more about the experience of the pilots and maybe some of the decision making? So obviously people really want to come to Antarctica. They're trying to decide which company, and you and I did talk about sometimes when you're building a ship, you have to just make a commitment. Like, you're going to have a helicopter hangar, or you're going to have a hot tub. You're probably not having both.
Yeah, I agree. I think the decision to place helicopters and make this a very heli-centric ship is very intentional. Of course, coming down to Antarctica, every single person here, whether that's the captain, the staff, the crew, the guests, are here because they want to have the least amount of impact on the environment that they can. And it starts, again, partly with these machines. It also starts with our coordination with IATO. We have certain areas that are no-fly zones that are closed. We simply don't fly into them. The H145s are some of the quietest in their class. I've seen how low disturbance that they can be. And again, we have a very thick manual of wildlife awareness procedures to make sure that we're not having an adverse effect. Things like never overflying wildlife at all, trying to, if we do overfly them, it's above 2,000 feet. So there's quite a long list of procedures that we follow to make sure that we're having next to no impact on this environment.
Yeah, and I've gotten a chance to speak with both pilots. They seem like they have more experience than any pilot I've ever met, and
yep.
That's incredible. And then last night when the wildlife guides were talking about, living on the ice for months at a time and their skidoos, I mean, it's such an experienced, incredible crew.
It baffles me. I mean, I started working for Quark in 2019, and in many ways I still feel quite the junior member of this team. We have people who have worked for us for 30 years, not unusual for the majority of our complement to be working for us for 10 to 15 years. So when you step into a team like this already, the first thing in your mind is, I need to step up to this level. You come in very experienced, but you aspire to get to an even higher level. And that's what this team does. I mean, we're really, really experienced and I just admire them. I admire everyone I work with.
It's such a great position to be in. I remember when I first started working on board, which was about 1 million years ago, kind of with the dinosaurs, there were very few women working on board. And Quark has a commitment to, working to have a parity of gender. And I really love that about this company.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Honestly, I've been a product of that as well. I mean, when I came on in 2019, I worked with an amazing expedition leader, also a woman, who really saw my potential and has pushed for me to grow into all of these roles. I've been mentored by both men and women in this field to grow into these areas. I mean, I make it's not a joke, but I make the point of, when I first graduated university, I graduated with degrees in English literature and gender studies. And imagine the amount of mentorship and growth it takes to reach all these different positions. So I'm just very grateful for not just the men and women who have mentored me, but the women in these positions already who have just been incredible role models. I think it's really important to see people in these positions who are like you, who show you what is possible, that shows you that there's already women in this field who are at the top of their class, who really inspire the rest of us and provide amazing leadership. So I appreciate that Quark has made a real effort to have that here on board and in their office as well.
I think that's so great. And so for people at home that can't imagine coming to Antarctica, some people are like, won't I be freezing? Which you and I both know it all depends. You have to wear the right layers. But what keeps bringing you back to this amazing, desert of Antarctica? Like it's a frozen ice, and we're so excited to be here. Yeah. So people don't understand that. So what do you tell people about how you love being able to keep returning to Antarctica?
We call it, getting bit by the polar bug. And I can't think of a better way to express that. You come down here, whatever draws people down here, I think for a lot of folks, it's their seventh continent, or it's just always been a dream of theirs to experience somewhere as unique as Antarctica. But when you get down here, you actually see how abundant it is, how full of life it is. And because we are constantly pivoting, we're never on a fixed itinerary. We're never doing the same thing every day, every week, every trip. Literally every trip is unique. And I think and I've seen people spend a lifetime down here on these ships, and it will never be enough. There's always going to be some new experience that reminds you just how incredibly small you are and how incredibly vibrant this world is, particularly in areas like in Antarctica, where the wilderness just feels unmatched. Yeah.
That's so true. And that reminds me that there are journeys that have even more flying, right? Aren't there some journeys where there's even more helicopter opportunities?
Definitely. Yeah, we have a variety of programs. We have a helicentric program that operates in the Arctic as well. In Greenland, we are bringing forward a new helicentric program this year, 2025, for 2 voyages. That's going to focus on everything these bad boys can do. And we also have, of course, our Snow Hill program, which requires helicopters to even get to the emperor penguin colonies that we're looking for. So the goal is to really take advantage of what these and the team can do and create an experience that no one else is making.
It is such a unique and fantastic and special experience, and we both know that if you would like to do heli landing or heli-centric itineraries, one of the most important things is book early.
Yes. Yes. We we'll always endeavor to do as much as we can, as often as we can. But I would definitely suggest booking those very early. This trip, for example, our heli landing opportunity sold out 18 months ago. So never too early.
Yeah, so book early. We love Quark, and Sarah, I just so appreciate all the effort it takes to make this run so smoothly and seem like it's an easy day when I'm sure it's hours of preparation before and after. So thank you so much, and I hope I get to see you on board again soon.
You'll have no choice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.